Honest truth is, I get scared going on these lives every fucking day. I do.
She's waddling. She can't make it.
Hello. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Ashley Mateo back with another Taiwan vlog. So if you're new to my channel and haven't caught up with any of the videos, just so you know, all of the Taiwan vlogs are from last year in 2020. You can catch up through the playlist up here, but otherwise we're just going to jump right in. So this particular vlog is interesting because this is around the time that, for those of you who don't know, my full-time gig is a life and business coach. And so while I was out in Taiwan, the main reason why I stayed out there for a pretty extended period of time on vacation was not just vacation, but was also to see if I could work simultaneously out there. And so it was time to work. I host my first ever 5-day challenge with my business, which is the Uncage Your Inner Boss Babe. So I won't go too deep into like all of that stuff because if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see everything there. But I wanted to share with you this little piece that I shared on my Instagram story last year before I hopped into this challenge. I wanted to share this because I think a lot of times people get really afraid of showing the fuck up online, especially if you want to create a YouTube channel or you want to start an online business or whatever it is that requires you to show up in a certain way. Your ego is going to pop in to stifle this because it's scary. They say, no, this is new. This is danger. So I really wanted to jump in and share this little piece of, where I was at that point, because I know a lot of people probably can resonate with this. Good morning, Insta fam, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. I wanted to pop in here and share this story with you. If you already saw my Insta post, then you already know, but I had a pretty rough night of sleep last night. It got hot again these past couple days, and so I've just been struggling to get a normal night of sleep. Plus just being up late and just trying to fix my schedule and everything like that. But yeah, this morning, my fears, my ego, my inner bitch, whatever you want to call it, she came out. Just as I was trying to fall back asleep at like 4:30 in the morning, she decided to come out and remind me of some fear stories that I tell myself very often, that some days they get to me, some days I've learned to push through them or learn to combat them. And so basically she's been telling me about this challenge that's about to go down is useless, it's trash, no one gives a fuck about what you're gonna post about and share. Like, no one gives a fuck. That's literally what she keeps selling. Like, in my mind, she's saying, like, you should just cancel it. It's really useless. You don't really need to do this. You're putting in all this effort for literally no one, because no one's gonna watch it. And so these things played out in my head, and like, I definitely was like, oh, fuck you. Like, in my mind, I went back to sleep. But this morning, I woke up before my alarms, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna own the day. I'm going to do my best and keep it moving, because what is the point of letting yourself live in the fear stories? What is the point of being scared your whole life and not putting anything that clearly meant a lot to me to do and share? Honest truth is, I get scared going on these lives every fucking day. I do. And that's really what comes up, is I'm gonna say the wrong things, or people won't understand me, or whatever. But at the same time, it comes down to the intention that is in my heart. The information that I want to share is all the things that I wish I knew 4 years ago, when I was still stuck in the shit, still stuck in the mindset that I'm never going to amount to anything, that I'm never going to do the things I love doing, I'm never going to figure it out, when I have, or I still am. Life is always going to have me figure things out, but there are people out there, and I know there are women out there that need it, and I've seen the number of signups, and this is the most amount of signups I've ever had on a challenge or a live training ever. So who am I to say this isn't valuable? And so I realized I could talk myself out of these fear stories just as easily as I can believe them. And so this is just a reminder for y'all who I know everyone deals with this. This is a human thing. This is the ego trying to keep you safe. But you can also look at it as a way to say, I'm leaving my comfort zone. I am doing something I've never done, and it's gonna be fucking epic. And so that is the way that I chose to see it as. And so to give you all a backstory about this challenge, I did this because it was part of a preparation to launch a group course called the Rise and Thrive Master Plan. That's something that I am considering relaunching later this year, so keep an eye out. I wanted to share some like things that happened throughout that week, because I didn't really particularly record bits and pieces of it. And to be honest, there were a lot of personal things in my life that happened that I wasn't really sure if I wanted to talk about. So during this week, actually, before this week happened, I had actually had one of my uncles pass away from COVID. And so I remember around this time, it was getting really stressful because I was like, should I go home? Um, or should I just stay here? And I basically decided to stay because if I went back home to America, I would need to quarantine for 14 days. So even if I came home, I would miss his funeral. So during this time, I was also doing these Zoom calls for my family to do prayers, because in Filipino culture we do a prayer like we do this 9-day prayer after the person dies, as a way to help them get to heaven. And so everyone lives in different parts of the world, different parts of the US. And so luckily, I have a business account for Zoom. So I was able to get everybody together and not need to be limited. So I ended up hosting our prayers, our funeral, like our video chat funeral, all these kinds of things during this week. And to be honest, I really thought about just canceling or holding off on this challenge because yeah, it was just a lot of personal things going on, but I ultimately chose to do it anyways because one, I'd been hyping it up. I've been talking about it. I've been like so excited to host this thing. But another thing was that my uncle, my Tito Tony, you know, like he was an amazing human being. He was someone that really brought people together. And he is such a leader in our community that I was just like, I want to respect him in this way of like also being a leader in my community. And so that was just why I chose to continue doing this challenge, even though like we were all grieving. And that was one of the things behind the scenes that I don't think I really shared all too much. The other thing was that this is a more lighthearted one where during the 5-day challenge, I was doing it at 8 in the morning, Taiwan time, which was 8 p.m. Eastern time. And so poor Vinny, I had to kick him up every morning at like 7:30, 7:45 to prepare for this. And you might be like, why don't you just let him sleep? Like he doesn't care about your talking. But there's still something within me that feels really weird about doing these lives, doing this YouTube content in front of people or in a way that I know they're listening because they're literally in the next door over or whatever. There's something about that that makes me still feel really uncomfortable. I don't know why, but like I think part of it is the introvert in me. It's also part of, feeling fear about being judged and like I don't think he really cares to be really honest. But poor Vinny had to get kicked out for like 5 days. So he would like sit on our balcony, like our like apartment building's balcony, or he would go for a walk, or he would sit in the car, take a nap there, whatever it is. But poor guy, thanks, babe. I appreciate you so much for that. He's not a morning person, by the way. So that was just, yeah, I felt bad. But we made it work and a lot of people showed up for it. And ultimately, a good amount of people also showed up for or like signed up for the program that I was promoting afterwards for that. So it was really a really amazing experience because it was my first time launching anything of this magnitude because up until that point I was really just doing one-on-one coaching. So being able to do this really showed me a new part of myself, just showed me how far I can really go or like challenging myself. That on the last day, I decided to go celebrate. So, me and Vinny, after we did the live stream, we hung out and we actually went to a archery shooting range. It was like in the countryside, a little bit a ways from where like we lived. It was maybe like 20 minutes or so. Um, and we really were like, we did not know what to expect. We thought it was just like an open field. Maybe some people were shooting around. But we were basically the first people there. Eventually, other people showed up, but it was kind of funny because yeah, the people there were they were very curious about us because they'd never seen us before, obviously. And I think at that point, most people that shoot at this range are like locals, like village people. And so it was really cool to see them, in their element. Like literally these people were so good at archery and like they make their own handmade like bows and arrows, that kind of stuff. And like I was borrowing Vinny's bow, and I'm a lefty at archery. And Vinny's a righty, so it was kinda awkward shooting his bow because the way that it's done is completely it's, like, opposite. So, it was kind of interesting, but it was really fun nonetheless. And after that, I got absolutely hot pot wasted. We stopped at this hot pot place that is in Pingdong City. There are a bunch of hot pot places, but this one there was actually another one I wanted to go to, but that one was, like, absolutely packed, and it was, like, only 6 o'clock. You needed a reservation if you were to get in at that point. So, we didn't get to go there, but there was another one down the street, and that one was pretty delicious. We ordered a ton of meat, most of which was Vinny's. But I still ate so much food. It was amazing, so freaking amazing that I literally got hot pot wasted.
Oh, it's recording.
How you feel, babe?
I'm so full.
Yeah?
So full.
You gonna have a beer?
No,
You gonna get ice cream?
no. Okay, maybe ice
What?
cream.
I thought you were about to pass out.
I just want a little sweet.
Oh, we can split that pudding.
Oh yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't feel like numbing spicy, but like I can still feel the pressure on my lips.
Uh oh.
I think it's just because of the mask. Like keep breathing heat onto my face.
We're gonna find out tomorrow.
Oh.
We're gonna find out.
Honestly. Okay, that doesn't feel like that.
She's waddling. She can't make it.
This is a lot of walking, okay?
That food baby.
Oh my god, I really don't.
She's been sounding kind of loopy. All the blood's left her brain.
I've been talking with a lisp.
She was talking with a lisp.
I don't get it. Oh my god.
Oh, we're almost there.
Oh my god, I can crawl.
Next day, we head out to Kaohsiung City again. So if you haven't figured out by now, we love going to Kaohsiung City or Kaohsiung like county in general because it's literally like we're so close to the border that we're just there a lot because that is also like the major city in the southern part of Taiwan. Well, first we were trying to actually go to the zoo down there. So there's a Kaohsiung City Zoo. I don't think I recorded this part, but we literally drove into the parking lot and it was absolutely full. Like there was nowhere to park. And so like Vinny was like, we can go find another place. Like we just have to drive around more. And I said, no, it's good. We don't really need to try that hard. I wasn't really like really trying to go. Like it was just seemed like a really nice thing to do on like a Saturday. So we decided to skip out on that. However, we were trying to go to a mountains like view area. I can't remember. I can't find it on the map. Like I thought I bookmarked it, but I guess I didn't. But we were trying to go up the mountain by car or at least as close as possible to the trail so that we can not hike that much. Well, I don't have to hike that much. Vinny doesn't care. He likes that stuff. But I didn't want to be going up the mountain super sweaty and just gross and still have to be able to walk around the city. So he tried to find a path. Well, we followed Google Maps to a certain point until we couldn't
Monkey
anymore.
Are monkeys native to this area, or were they like imported?
They're native to
Oh,
I think the ones here are macaques.
macaques.
Like the ones in Japan that's in the hot springs.
Yeah.
Same type of species, maybe slightly different subspecies.
Oh, I see. Whoa.
In 400 meters, turn right.
People just dump their mattresses out here, I guess. Mattress graveyard. They turn right? I don't think so. I think it's up there.
In 200 meters, turn right.
This is somebody's house. Or no. Do we just keep going up this way? Oh shit. Okay. Here we go. Oh. Okay. Is this a monkey?
I don't think we're going all the way up there.
I don't think so either.
Don't think there's anything
Back
there.
up there.
Okay. And yeah, like just driving around that area, just by the coast, it was really beautiful. I saw a lot of monkeys. I didn't know that there were a lot of like monkeys indigenous to Taiwan, but there are a lot of these monkeys. So they were literally on the side of the road, so I took a bunch of pictures along the way. And then we finally we parked our car around like the I don't know how to pronounce this. I didn't look it up at a time, but Gushan Ferry. This ferry actually takes you to Sijin Island, which is an island, like a little like strip island off the coast of Kaohsiung. And so we didn't actually go there that day. We will go to that island another day in a future vlog. However, that day we were just parked by it and we're just walking around the area. We found this martial arts center. It's called the Wude martial arts center that is actually pretty cool. Like there isn't really much to do inside, but it really preserved the building very well, and they still practice kendo in there, I believe. After that, we continue walking along the area and we end up at the National San Yat-Sen University. We like go through a tunnel, which is really cool. And we end up at the university's campus. And the university's campus is literally on like next to like a beach, which is amazing. And something that I did observe there is that I've never like that area, or like Kaohsiung City is like the area that I've seen the most foreign people, like non-Asian people. And I assume it's because they probably are studying abroad at that school. But it was really interesting because for once I didn't feel so like out of place because there were other people speaking English, or they were trying to like communicate with very little Mandarin. So I kind of felt a little bit better about myself being out there. But yeah, the school was really cool. Like a lot of campus, like a lot of the buildings around there were nice, as well as like just it being so close to the beach. Like I can totally understand why people like would want to go to school there. After that, we take a little trip up to this area called Shoushan, which overlooks the the coastline of Kaohsiung City. Wow, so pretty. Let's see. So you're not supposed to climb on the sign. Keep off the grass. But wait, no graffiti. I don't know why they picked a duck, but okay. And that was basically one of the last stops that we take for the day. So during these like day trips, we do go to a lot of places. However, we don't spend like a ton like a lot of time at each of them just because they're more sightseeing spots more than like actual cultural things that like we can like read up and learn about. So that was the last spot. Um and one last thing that we noticed on this road, specifically in Kaohsiung City, is that this one street is so freaking long that Google Maps
I was also minus
will just like remind you to stay straight. You'll see it here.
Continue straight. Then continue straight.
favorite because it was fun.
Continue straight.
As far as
In 600 meters, continue straight.
oh, that's cool. That's the corner that you smacked Kaohsiung.
The last but not least, we end our day at Riugang Night Market. So there's mainly two night markets in Pingdong City. There's like the Pingdong City one, and then there's this other one, Riugang Night Market. it is one that like we can't actually walk to directly unless we want to wait, well, unless we want to walk like 30 minutes. So on the way home, we decided to stop by there, and they had, it was definitely different than the other night market that we usually go to, because there were less restaurant or like food related ones. There was a lot more games, a lot more like kid friendly things. But we ended up stopping for dinner at the hot pot shop. And that was a pretty solid end of the day. So that's really it for this vlog. I feel like this one was kind of little, I don't know, like it was kind of random, more so very focused on just, you know, all the things that were leading up to the 5-day challenge that I had. And like, yeah, so it's kind of mishmashed. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye.